Hey, welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura, if you're new to the channel, and I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. So know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to go in deep. I look at everything, but we really take longer to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes within your experiences. This allows you to see your situation from a different perception, which is very healing all on its own. However, you're actually able to see how you contribute to the imbalances within your situations, and that allows you to figure out what you can do to create balance. So you'll be able to, you know, be balanced within yourself, because when we're in an imbalanced situation, we become imbalanced. And how a person knows they're imbalanced is that they overthink, they have a lot of emotions, so much so that they can actually freeze. That fight, flight, or freeze is that survival mechanism that happens when we get triggered by our spiritual blocks. And so what happens then is that we tend to react, and we all form behaviorisms and habits that are in alignment with what we perceive about ourselves. And our environment is what teaches us what we should think about ourselves. So in order to heal, we have to integrate the spiritual lesson. So our relationships are one way that the universe gives us our spiritual lessons. So when a lot of people always say, why does this happen to me? It keeps happening to me, and I don't believe in a God, and I don't believe in, because these relationships that are so toxic, I keep being in them, and I don't want to be in them, and and all I want is love. And it makes them not love themselves, makes them believe that there's something wrong with them, when really there's nothing wrong with any of us. It's that we're all born into families and situations, and that play out as karmic situations, I'm meaning to say, and we all are born into environments that teach us who we are. And that's what's hard. It's hard not to let the world tell you who you are. But you can't let the world tell you who you are. You have to become yourself and know who you are by loving yourself and having a love affair with yourself. And most people don't do that. Most people look for love. So understand, I pride this channel on being more than just a reading channel. So there might be a little bit more talking in it, but just because the readings are not just yes and no. A lot of times we're stuck in a cognitive dissonance where we're like, well, there is a yes and a no I feel about that person. It's like I'm stuck. I love that person. I hate that person. I want it, but I don't. So the answer would not be yes or no. The answer would be more of an advisory type, looking at your situation from a higher perception. And the highest perception is through the filter of unconditional love. We cannot transmute negative energy with negative energy. So that's the thing. A lot of times in karmic relationships, we know that they can be toxic. We know that they create a lot of emotional triggers. And that's when people tend to react. So again, when we react, it's really important not to react from that place of survival, from that fear perception. Otherwise, we're going to wind up in a block. And that block is that we're just stuck in a perception about ourselves, the situation, and it always is keeping us in a place of disempowerment, keeping us in a place of fear. See, there's only two energies, love and fear. When you're born of love. Your natural state is love. That's the highest consciousness, is unconditional love, which has no ownership or expectations. When we're born into the families, and grow up in certain environments, then we form expectations. Then we form things that are, again, are not really in alignment with unconditional love, and we don't realize that. And we create these imbalances as a way to of survival, per se, because the mind doesn't know the difference between physical or emotional. So always keep this in mind when you're in a toxic relationship that is more than just you're in a toxic relationship, that toxic relationships cause brain damage. Toxic relationships create health issues. I saw it firsthand. I grew up in a family that my father had cancer more than 7 times. It really 9 times, from being around a narcissist and being so afraid to leave, not believing, and then trying to suppress their emotions to deal with that situation. It's keeps it'll make you sick. And I saw it firsthand. So understand, everything happens in the spiritual realm long before it happens in the physical realm. The spiritual realm is of the mind. Healing the effects of trauma is healing the psychological and the emotional realm, just so that you know. So when you say, why did this happen? Or why does this keep happening? Well, if it's something that you don't like, know that you can change it. So let's see what is the underlying energy. And I never know why spirit tells me what it decides to channel before the reading, whether it has any part of the reading. I'm just a conduit for spirit to speak. We pull cards once in a while. I feel like you guys need to see something. No. All right, let's see. Selfishness. No, I got that card yesterday. I don't know whether I got it for this channel or whether it was the Scorpio channel, but I'm going to pull this card, but we're going to pull another card, because whenever I get the same card, understand that from day to day to day to day to day to day to day, energies don't change that much. And when you're dealing with people that are in a low vibration, it's not uncommon that selfishness is not going to come up. It's kind of general because everyone is, but this is bad because this is selfishness, narcissism. Oh, and why, Virgo? I feel like that this person's a narcissist. You know that this person's a narcissist, and you know that this person's coming back. And you have feelings for this person, and like you're mad at yourself because you're like, I don't know what to do about this situation, because it is a soul relationship, and it's a relationship that you can't control, that it's a divine meeting, and that's what it is. It's like, well, fuck you, almost like it's like I finally got you out of my system and I feel like you're coming back. So this is the energy there. It's like you're dealing with someone that you know who they are already. And at this point, it's like there's like a part of you that wishes that you didn't. That's the thing. You wish that you didn't, because there's feelings for this person. So this is the underlying energy. Not too good. Not too good. But we're gonna see what this person did. But we know that it's not gonna be good, because narcissists only tend to, they love to their capacity. So it's not like they don't love. It's like they love for as much as they can love. Problem is that they're a person that believes that love is ownership. They have expectations. Narcissists tend to put people on a pedestal, and then what happens is once the person sees that they're not perfect anymore, that's when the abuse starts. So there's a thing that I feel like this person's going to come on real strong in separation from them. Yeah, this person feels like, again, like lost without you. It's like, and because narcissists really don't have enough of their own being, right? Person that's a narcissist has a lot of shadows. They have a lot of trauma. They have a lot of, and that's why they create so many like alter egos. That's why they create so many masks. It's to make people perceive other things about what they truly feel about someone, about themselves. So they seek out someone else. So someone that they perceive is going to bring them all this, whether it's fortune, fame, success, love, like all these, again, because a narcissist doesn't have a real, they're they don't have a real reality of what everyday life is, because they tend to live from their addictions. They tend to be very grandiose, so they tend to be very indulgent with themselves. Person that's a narcissist didn't really get love growing up, or they didn't get the support and love that growing up. And so I feel like in this situation anyway, so they feel not, they always felt like they didn't really belong. They were always able to hide behind their material things, but when things are not built on truth, they're not built to last long. And so things fall apart. I mean, that's, everybody goes through karmic cycles, especially if you keep doing the same thing, you wind up back in the same karmic cycle. So a person like my father, for instance, that chose to stay in the narcissistic relationship, kept getting sick because he never changed. Well, same thing with this person, even though they might have been in a relationship, they're not in a relationship now. Even though they might have had a business when you met them, they don't have the business now. Like, they might have had certain friends, but they don't have those friends now. So this person actually feels like a rolling stone. That's someone that went through some heavy trauma. So they, again, are a narcissist, but you're going to again encounter this person again when they are at their lowest point, is what I'm feeling. And again, they're insecure, obviously, because of what they've done. And again, and tired, and extremely tired, like weary, because they just don't. It's almost like they don't have a spirit. They don't like have any hope. They don't have any. So the next time you see this person, you're not going to see them as the narcissist. You're going to see them like in like a lower point. And it's because of all their reckless behavior. And that's a person that's very indulgent. So I feel like when you knew this person, they were really cocky. They didn't give you the time. I feel like they perceived you as a little bit weird. They perceived you as a little bit different. I feel like you're someone that's maybe very spiritual. You're someone that studies things that people don't normally study. You're someone that beats to your own drum. So you're not all caught up in, fashion, like where like name brands and labels and living in an exclusive, gigantic home. You're just you, unapologetic. And that alone is like intimidating to this person. That's first of all. And they care a lot about what other people think. So they perceive that people are not going to like you. They perceive that people are going to take you the way that they took you, that they were going to perceive you from that level of consciousness, which is, hey, you're not really that great, you know? So they ran around with a lot of different people. I feel like this person had money, they had a job, but I feel like they don't have none of that now because they were reckless. So I feel like this person bobbed in and out of your life. That's what I feel like. And it's like for you, you feel like this person came to you and presented themselves in one way, but they were not that way, and then you got burned because I feel like you trust them. And it's not that there isn't a spiritual connection, but I feel like this person thought that you were very naive. I feel like that they, this person's a player, and so they've been around some of the people that are easy, so they can, say things where people catch on to like what they're saying, where I feel like you weren't really tapped in on that wavelength. I feel like you might have been talking about oranges and this person's talking about apples, and like a lot of times, and because you were like looking at them as as if they were you having a conversation with you, and meanwhile this person, like, and that would be like an example would be them talking about making a joke about something dirty and you not getting it when you're talking about something that's serious and something that's meaningful to your heart, like again, not on the same wavelength. So again, they thought that you were again naive. And you might have been in that way, but I feel like they toyed with that, where that's why you feel burned, because you're like, wait a minute, you didn't really have feelings for me. And I feel like they did, but at the time they were kind of like looking for like to have like dirty time. They weren't looking for, I'm gonna be honest, they weren't looking for some deep, meaningful connection. This person's a narcissist. It's again, they're indulgent narcissist. It's like, give me what I want. You have to be serving a purpose for me. And you're coming to me and talking to me about feelings, and you're talking to me about things that you're doing. I don't care about the things that you're doing. And I don't think so. Again, they never saw you is what I see. And that I think that you didn't know that. I feel like you feel burned out because you're like, wait a minute. Like you never really cared. It's like I might have thought that we were like not really on the same wavelength, but I always thought that you cared. It's like they cared as much as like to get you in bed, to like get to be with you, because not because they didn't like you. This is this person's level of consciousness of how they like people. So again, if you're taking it personally and you're getting triggered, that's a you thing, because this is this person is capacity. And I'm not saying that they didn't do anything wrong. And what I'm saying is if you choose to stick around and entertain it and expect this person to just be different, they're not going to be, obviously. And I feel like that happened. And I feel like you felt like you were alone. And the irony, because I feel like this person is lonely now. They're weary, their spirit, like definitely feel like they're just a lot of heavy energy. That's what it feels like. And now they're alone. And so being alone, they've had a lot of time to reflect. And I think they look around and they say, all the people that I surrounded myself with are bullshit. Like all these people are like low vibe people, because this person's low vibe. That's why, you're here for a good time, not a long time. So what do you expect? It's like no one's gonna hook up unless it's someone that's a low vibe. You're not giving them anything. This person's a narcissist. They think who they are. Narcissists tend to be have a like this self, it's the self-entitlement is the word that I'm looking for. Just like you're supposed to, like this is who I am. Like if they have an arrogance about themselves, even if you look at them now, where I feel like you do look at them now and you're like, how are you arrogant? How there's nothing there. Well, again, the ego has made that persona. So I feel like This is what's really killing this person right now, is the fact that the persona of who they once were is not who anyone's going to see them as anymore. And that is what kills them more than anything. Crushed. And that's again because I feel like this person just feels like a rolling stone, like I said, and it's because they never had a strong foundation. I feel like they grew up in a family where they gave their energy, they gave their energy, they gave their energy. They never created themselves. And I feel like whatever the trauma was with a parent, a caregiver, I feel like it was severe. When I say severe, I'm talking about like uh sexually, like molested. I'm talking about beaten. I'm talking about like terrified, like where this person didn't get the love and the nurturing, but then they became very highly sensitive. And highly sensitive people are very intuitive and very empathic. And they can be chameleons. And I feel like this person can turn into whoever you want them to become, because again, the environment that they grew up in, but they don't have a sense of self. Narcissists don't have a sense of self. So no matter how much love you give them, they're not that, like, unless we love ourselves, we're going to be an empty well. And that's what I feel like this person, it's not like people hadn't come into this person's life to try and show them love, but they never healed the childhood traumas. So I feel like you're meeting this person again, they're coming in back into your life when they're crushed, so you're not seeing them for who they once were. And I feel like this person thinks that they can pull on your heartstrings again, like almost like this person, like, again, feels like a connection to you. But like I said, I feel like it's almost like a child. It's like this person looks to you as if, almost as if you're like someone older, even though they are attracted to you, almost as like a sisters, a big brother, someone that can like help them. But I feel like it would be a lot of energy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this person would require like a lot. It's like, but that what they're looking for is almost like a friend when they come back. That's what this is. It's like, and I say that because it's almost like they want, they want inner, they want, they want, they want like inner child, like healing. I feel like, again, they would demand attention. However, I feel like you can create balance with this person, um, by keeping it simple. And that's because it's like not all relationships you're supposed to be involved in. This person, like, again, is coming back into your life, and I feel like they want, they want a friendship. There's a sense of that would actually help heal their inner child. That would actually, um, they would learn from you. That's again, and they would be very happy and very content with it being very simple. This person is simple. They come from simple. I feel like almost like this narcissist has had like the walls ripped down from them. They are no longer, whatever happened to this person, because like I said, when you met them, they were a different person. They didn't give you the time. They're coming back into your life. They're completely somebody different. It's like, and I feel like they just, they don't, indulgent narcissists make decisions on feelings. really based on their trauma. And the thing is, they never create stability. So, and being that they're of a low vibe, they only attract low vibe. And so, I feel like that's what really keeps happening with this person. They keep building and doing with the wrong people. And that's because they were not on a high vibration, and they weren't on a high vibration because of where they came from. So it's almost like, again, they see you as somebody. Again, this card just reminds me of, like, again, like bringing it back to their inner child, right? To help them fix, right? Because it's almost like just you're comforting. You feel like home. You feel like, and they miss you. And that's the thing. And so, yeah, and at this time, like, I just feel like you're like, I feel like this person is uncertain on how to, like, even deal with their life. And I feel like you're like, I would not know how to handle this situation. Yeah, union of opposites. It's like, I feel like this power is like this person loses their power. And what is really revealed is like who they are. Because that's really like an eclipse, right? An eclipse is almost like a change. You will see like a change in power. So I feel like this person had all the power when you first met them. Now you have the power. I feel like you are their opposite, because this person, like you said, the way that you think is not the same way that this person thinks. I feel like there is twin flamey energy, but I wouldn't even say that this is a twin flame. I'd say that this is more of a karmic mate. Um, my thing is like whether you want to take this person back. Look at this. I was like, and I pulled repairman, like literally. I was like, so I feel like this person wants to repair it. They want to heal this connection. It's like I said, whether you wanted to fix it. And I feel very likely. So it's again, even though that this person was someone that was very selfish and a narcissist, well, let's see what made them, like, what changed, what happened that made this person change. I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know, like, what made this person change? Because okay, so we feel like they feel like this connection is faded, and like they feel like it, like, because it gives them purpose. So partially this connection is whatever you're doing business wise, this person feels as if they can, like, join along, be a part of it, help you, like, or whether or not it's that, it's almost like I said, like being with you gives them some sort of purpose. And maybe, and I feel like it has something to do with like who you are, maybe what you do in the community, what you do for a living. If you're a doctor, if you're like somebody that's in the public eye, so it's again narcissists, remember. Is again, it makes sense because it's not that this person's 100% healed. It's like, I feel like what has happened is there's been a tower moment. So who this person used to be is not who they are anymore. And so now what it is it's like they're looking to actually rebuild their life, and you have all the ingredients. However, remember how the story opened. I'm just letting you know. So they're blaming faith, and they know that you're not coming back. And they're also like, I feel like losing faith in themselves. And I feel like that's really what it is. It's like where they are within their life. So this is like, I'm not liking this energy now, where it was like, well, maybe I could see you giving this person like with very strong boundaries. But now what I'm feeling is that this person's life, like, it's kind of flattened, and now they've put you on a pedestal and they see you, but it's because of where they are. And so this is very narcissistic energy because they were very arrogant before and didn't want to date you before and perceived you to be not really good enough for them in the beginning of this. And now all of a sudden they're seeing you because you've been sitting there working hard, becoming yourself, and this person hasn't been any part of support for you. They haven't been anywhere. They've been doing what they've been doing, and now their life is flattened, and now all of a sudden they have, oh, I feel like it's fate. It's like, I don't know, I just don't like that. Cause I'm like, I'm gonna pull random. It's time for me to heal now. This is what they think. It's time for them to heal now. So it's not that you don't have healing energy, and it's not like this person doesn't have good intention, but they're still a narcissist, is what I'm gonna have to say. So it's like, at least they know that it's time for them to heal. I'm starting to understand our connection. I feel like, again, it has something to do with what you do. They feel like, you're going to help them somehow, that you're, again, going to fix them somehow, that you're going to help them heal somehow. I mean, and they're going to do that too. And that's why they, again, oh, I love you. But the truth of the that's why it's like, I don't like it because, like you said, I just feel like this person for a long time, they couldn't let you get close to them. But now it's like they want to, and possibly because, again, narcissists know that, then they can't let anyone close to them because people are going to see the facade. But I feel like, especially you, because you're someone that's intuitive, you do have feelings, they have feelings, and being that, again, that they only know how to be in a relationship that goes super fast. They know that they would probably get entwined with you too fast, that you would see everything and be like, I don't want this. Meaning you don't have enough of your own life, because what admires this person about you is what you do. So they know that you would want to match, obviously, with the same type of energy. And that's why it's like, this person is going to try and come back to you where they're like really humble, really sad, really broken. And I feel like they are. Do I feel like they've healed? I feel like you do some healing when your life crashes and burns because you have to rebuild yourself. However, I don't see that they did that much work. So I'm gonna look in the future and see, like, what is this person's way of dealing with you in the future is gonna be. Only because, like I said, there's feelings and you have feelings for this person regardless. And like you said, they're gonna come back and they're gonna be like, I love you and I have, I'm sorry, and tell you how their life is all broken and make you feel bad, pull on your heartstrings. And you have to be careful. Narcissists know how to do that. I watch you on social media, and the internet is my way of staying close to you and finding out about you. Again, narcissistic energy. Again, like stalker, because that information, and that's how they are able to be like a little bit of a chameleon. Like, oh, you did that, oh, so did I. Oh, you did that, you're going there, oh, so do I. Like, we have so much in common. Where is it real? The next solace, yeah, that this person's coming soon. I feel like they were gonna come during the summer. That was their plan, like in the begin, this one that just passed, the spring one. But I feel like they didn't have any money, and I feel like this person is digging their way out of a hole. And so didn't really have enough, possibly had a lot of legal issues, had other things. So again, they prolonged it. So I feel like they're gonna plan on coming around like in the fall. If some of you right around your birthday. Our mission is to be unconditional love. Clearing our programming is a necessary part of opening our hearts. So again, like from a spiritual perspective, I care about you even when I act like I don't. Hiding my true feelings because I feel vulnerable. Again, this person's not good with their emotions, and we know that because narcissists aren't. I feel like again, they do feel like there's a spiritual connection, and for whatever reason, I feel like they read a lot of spiritual information, like it's their way of trying to learn. Again, being a little bit like a chameleon, because if you're into spirituality, well, this person wants to be able to connect with you. They want to win you back over. So what we see here is that they're putting some effort in, and they also have anxiety. I'm afraid you're going to meet someone else before I'm ready to be with you for good. So this person knows that they're taking a long time, but their way is I want to be able to come back and really win you over because I know that I treated you like shit, pretty much. It's like I want to be able to give you something. I want to have enough money or to take you out. I want to treat you well. Like I said, this person's gonna like come in and become everything that you want them to become. But that's what the narcissist tends to do. They come in and they love bomb. They put you on a pedestal. They do make you everything that, you've ever desired. The problem is it doesn't last. So again, they know that they're taking a long time, but I feel like they were flattened, so they really didn't have anything to offer you. And again, that roller coaster, like life of you're high up on life, you're doing well, you have a good job, you have friends, you have people, and then it crashes and burns. It all you sabotage yourself. And this person does that all the time. They self-sabotage themselves. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we see addictions and other things. Please contact me. I may not respond, but knowing that you care opens my heart. Yeah, this person doesn't know how you're going to sit, like whether you're going to accept them or not. This is not a person that normally comes back to anybody and apologizes. Never. So for them to do this, they really feel like there's a strong connection. They really do feel like, and I'm not saying that they don't have feelings. What I'm saying is that this person is like they have feelings, but they only know how to love from their level of consciousness. And that we don't really see that, they're healed. What we see is that they got crushed and that they can rebuild their life. They don't have a problem with that. It's that this person has self-hatred because they self-sabotage themselves, so they're a narcissist. And so part of rebuilding yourself when you're like part of like the narcissist cycle is you flatten, you gotta like you are humble and you are coming to the person like again very insecure, and that's part of the game. And so to get you to give them, to get the tip for you to help them with your resources, with the things that you're doing. And so, and then they turn back into like who they are. It's like, and that's why I'm saying it's like, I don't like what I'm feeling. It's like, and I'm gonna say it, even if the cards aren't saying it, it's like reincarnated together to clear specific patterns from our ancestral bloodline, but I feel like you don't need to go through this karmic cycle. I feel like you might have grown up again. You might have grown up with a parent that was like parents that were not like had one of those trauma bond relationships, one of those very codependent, like how I explained that my parents were. You might have grown up in a similar situation where it's like, well, it was toxic. My parents didn't get along. They fought all the time. It was like my mother never emotionally got what she needed, or my father never emotionally got what he needed. Um, like they lived in fear, they lived in, so I feel like being with this person, you would be going into a trauma bond. And the reason why is because you grew up with a narcissist yourself. So you would have inherited that trauma from witnessing your parents going through it. And this person, the same thing. They're just stuck in that trauma bond cycle. So if it's not with you, it's going to be with somebody else, because that this is the way that they roll. And so clearing the specific patterns would be, I'm not lovable. I'm a mistake. Shame, anything that brings shame, like this person has shame. So again, not like not uh, different from you if you grew up with a narcissist parent, where you were also told, like, again, that there was some, or made to feel as if there was something wrong with you, when really that was just an angry parent, that was just parent that was not, couldn't give you that love and that support. But as children, we need it. But if we don't give it to ourselves in childhood, and then we don't give it to ourselves in adulthood, we look for the answer outside of ourselves. And there's nothing worse than being in a relationship like this. So what we see here is that this person does have feelings, but what they see is a whole lot of opportunity that I feel like that they, I long for your kisses and your touch. So it's not that there's not passion, but of course that there is. That's why it kind of looks like a fake twin flame type of relationship. It's like, yeah, it's kind of twin flamey, right? The person's different. Yeah, only that, no, this is a past life karmic mate. So you knew this person in many, many lifetimes. There is a very strong spiritual connection, but I feel like you already learned this lesson. You already learned, to like this during the time of separation, while this person was crashing and burning, you were creating yourself. And that's why I perceive that again, you've already learned this lesson. So like we see that they're going to come back. It's up to you whether you take them back, but I'm going to tell you right now that I see a whole lot of love here on their part. It's again, but when I say that, I'm not being facetious, but what it is it's ruled by passion, and it's ruled by a lower energy, and that lower energy is it's passion, and it's everything that you can do for me. You can be my savior, that you can fix me, that you can heal me, that I can become part of your identity. And that's why this is all the work. And that's why I'm like, be careful. Be careful. Okay, first card out, optimistic. So these are inner child wounds. Now, I feel like in this instance, it's negative, because a lot of times when we're optimistic about people that have already shown us who they are, and I kind of feel like if you grew up with a narcissistic parent, that was a lesson that you needed to learn, like, and it was something that you kept hoping that they would change. Like you kept giving them like chance after chance after chance after chance to do something different, to be something different, to give you emotionally, and they never did. So again, in this instance, it would also be not a good thing because you can't be optimistic with the person that, like, sometimes you have to like really say logically, you can't listen to your heart. You have to be able to listen to your gut. But a lot of times we can't listen to the gut because emotionally gets in the way. So this is when we really have to like tap into the heart, the head, and the gut and be like, does it really? And what you see is no. And I'm not saying that you don't wish that it was different because you see the capabilities that this person has. There is an attachment. I mean, there was always hope. Like I said, it's another positive thing. That's another gift. However, to hold on to hope for someone to like come back and do the right thing for you. Like, I feel like you should hope that they heal themselves, but know that you're much more deserving than someone that might come back. You hope that they'll do the right thing, but it's like a toss up. And I feel like that's the way you grew up. You grew up with a narcissist, that's the same environment. Well, we don't know what it's gonna look like today. It depends on this person's mood. And it's again, that didn't make you feel safe. This is all about protection and protection. There's nothing like growing up with a narcissist, you don't feel safe. It's like, even though they may not be beating you psychologically and emotionally, they're terrorizing you and wearing you down. So you would actually be recreating the same exact type of environment that you grew up in, that you probably spent a lifetime trying to get out of, or what feels like it. And it doesn't mean that you don't love your parents, but it's just, it wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy. And you learned because, again, belittled. And what do narcissists do? They make the person feel bad. They tear them down. They tear down their self-esteem. So I feel like these are your inner child wounds. You didn't feel safe because you had a parent that belittled you. However, you were in a highly sensitive person. You were someone that had a lot of positive energy, and you were always optimistic and always had a hope. But in that, you kept getting hurt, expecting a different result, until finally you just got angry and walked away and left it. Where Spirit's saying you didn't learn the lesson. It's like it's not one or the other. So, and you weren't able to forgive that parent. So you're getting this in a spiritual lesson, this person coming into your life to teach you the spiritual lesson of unconditional love. Yeah, you have unconditional love for this person. This person does for you too. However, logically, you have to love yourself first. You have to honor yourself. You can't make anyone be who you want them to be. Sometimes we have to make the hard choice, very hard choice, head over heart. I have to do what's best for me. I have to love myself first. And Spirit says, when you are creating and making things happen, very rarely are you able to have the love of your life come in at the same time as the time that you manifest. It's that you have to choose one. The emotional energy needs to be channeled into creation, into that, because really it's this person's karma. They didn't choose you at first. And that's what you know. So they, of course, they're going to come back and say all the right words and everything. But look at everything else, Virgo. I'm going to leave that there. I love you guys. That's why I tell you to protect yourselves. I'll talk to you soon.